Have you ever felt drained after helping someone, only to realize your efforts were wasted or even used against you? Many of us pour our energy into supporting others, believing that kindness will always be returned. Yet the truth is harsher. Some people exploit generosity, leaving us frustrated, exhausted, or worse, manipulated. This isn't just a personal problem. It's a lesson echoed in the Quran. In Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:2, Allah commands, "Help one another in righteousness and piety, but do not help one another in sin and aggression." In other words, our help must uplift, not enable harm. Think about it. In workplaces today, countless employees go out of their way to assist colleagues who take credit for their work. On social media, people give time, advice, or resources to influencers or friends who vanish after using their kindness. Even in local communities, volunteers spend years supporting those who never express gratitude, or worse, spread negativity about them. These situations are more common than we admit, and they quietly drain our energy, peace of mind, and even faith in human goodness. So here's a question for you. Have you ever helped someone only to regret it later? Comment yes if this has happened to you. Reflect on those moments. When did your kindness serve others? And when did it serve only their self-interest? Your awareness today will guide you in choosing wisely who deserves your help. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Share this video with your loved ones, because this knowledge can literally change your life. Before we dive deeper, let's take a quick look at the 7 kinds of people you shouldn't help. Recognizing them is the first step to protecting your energy, time, and spiritual well-being. The ungrateful, those who take your help for granted and never acknowledge it. The manipulator, people who twist your kindness to serve their selfish goals. The lazy dependent, individuals who rely on you without putting in any effort themselves. The malicious critic, those who belittle or criticize you even when you support them. The deceiver, people who pretend to need help but have hidden agendas. The compulsive spender, waster, those who mismanage or squander what you provide. The harm doer, individuals who use your help to harm themselves or others. These types are everywhere. In our workplaces, families, communities, and online interactions. Over the next steps, we'll explore each type with real stories happening right now on earth and lessons from the Quran, showing how to discern who truly deserves your help. Which of these types have you encountered in your life? Share your experiences in the comments. Your story could help someone else recognize them too. Type 1. The ungrateful. Have you ever gone out of your way to help someone, only for them to act as if you did nothing at all? Or worse, complain about what you did. This is the harsh reality of the ungrateful. Their hearts are blind to the effort and sacrifices you've made. A real-world example. A teacher spends countless hours tutoring struggling students, staying late every day to ensure they understand. Yet when awards or recognition are given, some of these students barely acknowledge the teacher's effort. Some even complain about minor issues. In workplaces, employees often assist colleagues tirelessly, only to have their efforts ignored or misrepresented. Even on social media, countless acts of kindness, financial help, guidance, or emotional support are met with silence, ingratitude, or even criticism. The Quran teaches us the value of gratitude and warns against the harm of ingratitude. In Surah Al-A'raf 7:127, we see how Pharaoh's people, despite receiving guidance and help, responded with arrogance and ungratefulness. Helping those who cannot recognize or appreciate your efforts can drain not only your time and energy, but also your spiritual peace. Allah reminds us that our efforts are most meaningful when they serve good and are met with respect, not exploitation. Be cautious with your help. If someone repeatedly ignores or dismisses your efforts, it is not your fault. They are choosing ingratitude. Your energy is valuable. Directing it wisely preserves your peace and your ability to help those who truly deserve it. Have you ever helped someone who never appreciated it? Comment, yes, and share your experience. What happened, and what did you learn? Your story could help others recognize the ungrateful and protect their own energy. Type 2. The manipulator. Manipulators are experts at twisting your kindness to serve their selfish goals. They don't just ask for help, they pressure, guilt, and exploit, leaving you exhausted while they gain. Their intentions are never genuine. They are only interested in what benefits them. Consider a modern example. On social media, countless influencers or acquaintances ask for favors, advice, or free services. They smile, charm, and act grateful. But once they get what they want, they disappear, or worse, publicly criticize the help they received. In workplaces, manipulators may use your ideas and labor to get promoted, all while presenting themselves as the team player to management. Even in personal relationships, some friends or relatives exploit your generosity, knowing you'll comply out of kindness or guilt. The Quran teaches us to discern intentions carefully. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:188 warns, "Do not consume one another's wealth unjustly or send it in bribery to the rulers to consume a portion of people's wealth sinfully." While this verse speaks broadly about justice, the principle applies to human interactions. Don't let others exploit your effort for their gain. Helping manipulators ultimately spreads harm and can erode your moral and spiritual well-being. Protect your energy and generosity. True help benefits both parties and is free from manipulation. Recognizing manipulative behavior early allows you to support genuinely deserving people without being drained or exploited. Have you ever felt used or manipulated when offering help? Comment yes and briefly share your story. What signs did you notice? And how did it affect you? Your experience might help someone else spot a manipulator before it's too late. Type 3. The lazy dependent. Some people rely on others so heavily that they make no effort to stand on their own. Helping them repeatedly doesn't uplift them, it keeps them trapped in dependence. While kindness is a virtue, overhelping the lazy dependent can drain your resources, time, and patience. A real-world example. Consider a family member who constantly borrows money or asks for favors, but never tries to improve their situation. Friends who repeatedly request emotional or financial support without taking steps to solve their own problems fall into this category too. In workplaces, employees who rely entirely on others to complete tasks, never learn new skills, and blame colleagues when things go wrong are also lazy dependents. These situations are exhausting because your help only enables stagnation. The Quran emphasizes self-reliance and responsibility. Prophet Muhammad, PBH, encouraged earning and effort, stating that each person should work to meet their own needs whenever possible. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:286 teaches that Allah does not burden a soul beyond its capacity. Helping those who refuse to make their own effort goes against this principle, creating imbalance and sometimes resentment in relationships. True help is guidance and support, not enabling endless dependence. Encourage initiative, provide tools, and set boundaries. Let people take responsibility for their own growth. Your help is most meaningful when it empowers, not perpetuates, laziness. Have you ever felt someone relied on you too much without trying themselves? Comment yes, and share briefly how you handled it. Your story could inspire others to help responsibly without being drained. Type 4. The malicious critic. Some people never appreciate your help. Instead, they criticize, belittle, or even mock you, no matter how sincere or significant your efforts are. The malicious critic thrives on diminishing others to feel superior, and offering them help often backfires, leaving you emotionally drained. A real-world example. Consider a co-worker who constantly complains about the extra work you do to help the team, even when your efforts prevent major mistakes. On social media, some people respond to guidance or generosity with harsh judgment, trolling or belittling comments. Even in personal relationships, malicious critics subtly undermine your confidence, turning your good deeds into fuel for their negativity. The Quran addresses such behaviors through the stories of the hypocrites. Surah Al-Munafiqun 63 describes those who feign goodness, but secretly spread harm and criticism, refusing to acknowledge the value of others' efforts. Helping malicious critics can damage your spiritual and emotional well-being, as your kindness is twisted into fodder for their negative agenda. Avoid overextending help to those who habitually criticize or belittle. Your energy is precious. Invest it where it brings growth, gratitude, and positive impact. True support uplifts, rather than feeding harm or negativity. Have you ever helped someone who only criticized you afterward? Comment yes, and share your experience. How did it affect you? And what did you learn about protecting your energy? Your insight might help others recognize the malicious critic before it's too late. Type 5. The deceiver. Deceivers appear trustworthy, often pretending to need help, but their intentions are hidden. They manipulate your generosity for personal gain, lies, or even fraud. Helping a deceiver doesn't just waste your resources, it can actively harm you or others. A real-world example. Consider charity scams circulating online, where pleas for help tug at the heartstrings. But the money never reaches those in need. Or in personal relationships, some people fabricate crises to get financial aid, emotional support, or favors, only to betray trust once they receive it. In workplaces, deceivers may feign deadlines, illness, or hardship to gain advantages, while your efforts support their schemes. These situations drain your resources and often leave you disillusioned and cautious about future generosity. The Quran teaches vigilance and integrity in dealings. Surah Al-Mutaffifin 83 1-3 condemns deceit and warns against cheating or misrepresenting the truth. Offering help without discernment can unintentionally aid wrongdoing or injustice. By recognizing deceivers, you protect your time, energy, and spiritual well-being, ensuring your help benefits those who truly deserve it. Discern intent before giving help. True assistance should uplift honestly, not enable deception. When you detect deceit, step back. Your generosity is a tool for good, not a means for exploitation. Have you ever been tricked into helping someone with false intentions? Comment yes, and briefly explain the experience. What did it teach you about recognizing a deceiver? Your story could help others avoid similar traps. Type 6. The compulsive spender, waster. Some people never value what you give them. They waste resources, mismanage help, or treat generosity as an endless supply. Supporting them repeatedly can be exhausting, as your efforts and resources are consumed without appreciation or responsibility. A real-world example. Imagine lending money to a friend who consistently spends it recklessly, only to ask for more later. In families, some relatives habitually misuse financial aid, disregarding the sacrifices behind your support. Even charitable donations can be wasted when directed without care. Funds may go to inefficient programs, squandered on luxury or mismanaged entirely. This pattern repeats globally as billions of dollars intended for relief are misused, highlighting the importance of discernment. The Quran teaches responsibility and stewardship in resource management. Surah Al-Isra 17:26 emphasizes spending wisely and with fairness, warning against wastefulness. Helping those who mismanage or squander your help contradicts this principle, as your generosity fails to produce good and may even perpetuate harm. Offer help wisely, ensuring it reaches those who value and use it responsibly. Guide people to make good choices rather than enabling waste. Your resources, time and energy, are precious. Invest them where they create meaningful impact. Do you know someone who misuses the help they receive? Comment yes and share an example or a lesson. How did you handle it, and what would you do differently next time? Your experience can guide others in offering help more effectively. Type 7. The harm doer. Some people use your help to harm themselves or others. Supporting them can unintentionally enable destructive behavior, causing more damage than good. Helping is not wrong, but when it aids wrongdoing, it contradicts both practical wisdom and spiritual guidance. A real-world example. Consider friends or relatives who struggle with addiction. Offering them money, shelter, or constant assistance without addressing the root problem may enable their harmful habits. Online, people sometimes support individuals who spread misinformation or harmful content, inadvertently amplifying the harm. Even in communities, aiding those who exploit others, like bullies or manipulators, can contribute to cycles of harm. While your intentions are noble, without discernment, your help can fuel negative outcomes. The Quran addresses this clearly in Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:2. Help one another in righteousness and piety, but do not help one another in sin and aggression. Providing aid that encourages wrongdoing or harm goes against divine guidance. True help supports constructive change, not destructive behavior. Protect your energy and ethics. Offer help in ways that guide toward improvement and positive outcomes. Setting boundaries and refusing to support harmful actions is not unkind. It is wise, responsible, and spiritually aligned. Have you tried helping someone who ended up harming themselves or others? Comment yes, and briefly explain the situation. What did you learn about offering help wisely? Your story can help others avoid enabling harmful behavior. We've explored the 7 types of people you shouldn't help: the ungrateful, the manipulator, the lazy dependent, the malicious critic, the deceiver, the compulsive spender, and the harm doer. Each type drains your energy, misuses your generosity, or leads you into harm, despite your good intentions. The Quran guides us to offer help wisely in ways that uplift, support righteousness, and avoid enabling wrongdoing. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:177 reminds us that true righteousness comes from helping others while maintaining justice, ethics, and integrity. Your kindness is most valuable when it builds good and empowers others responsibly. Which type do you struggle with most in your life? Comment below and share your experience. Let's discuss strategies to help wisely while protecting our energy and spiritual well-being. Your insight may guide others in offering meaningful support. Remember, helping the right people elevates your spirit, while helping the wrong ones can drain it. Choose wisely.